I always see people trying to recommend anime shows to normies who don't really watch anime. And a lot of the times they make the huge mistake of just recommending stuff they like instead of stuff that a normal person who doesn't watch anime might like. Or it requires a vast time commitment, like Bleach or One Piece. So I want to do a short video about 5 anime shows that you can show your grandma. These are shows and movies that I think everyone can get on board with, even if you've never seen anime before. I think any of these would be good because they have a broad appeal for a really wide-ranging audience, including your grandmother. The first one I'm going to start with, and I'm going to go in reverse order, so I'm going to start with number 5. Number 5 is A Silent Voice. This is a movie that came out in 2016. It's about a boy named Shoya Ishida who bullies a deaf girl named Shoko Nishimiya with his friends in elementary school, but when they get in trouble, his friends completely throw him under the bus. And then this reputation of being a bully follows him all the way through high school to the point where he wants to kill himself. So the movie really focuses on him trying to repair the relationship with Shoko and kind of his own redemption arc. It also focuses on her because it shows how hard it is for her to have a normal relationship because she's deaf and how much she feels like she's kind of holding back the people around her. It's a really interesting movie. It's really good. A lot of people that I've seen talk about it said they cried. And it's definitely one that I think you could recommend to anybody. I actually recommended this to my own grandmother and she loved it. Number 4 is Chained Soldier or Chained Slave. I've seen it interpreted both ways. This is one where there's monsters in another dimension that sometimes break through these gates to Earth. And for some reason in this place, Mato, in this other dimension, women can eat the Mato peaches and get powers. And they can fight the monsters known as Shuki. Our main character, Yuki, accidentally gets caught in one of these events and saved by Kyoka, whose power is to have a slave. And she usually uses a Shuki, but she uses him in kind of a desperate move, and they end up as partners fighting against the monsters. Part of her ability is that when she releases the slave power, a reward takes place to the slave, and she has no control over it or her body. And before, for the Shuki, it used to just be to feed them meat, and with Yuki, it's much more romantic. And depending on your grandmother's age, she might have been a feminist way back when feminism was still cool and not really annoying. So I think she'll appreciate the idea of a woman owning a man and having the power in the relationship. There's a lot of really strong female characters. It kind of flips traditional roles on their head. Yuki is the house cleaner, he's the slave, he's the outcast, and he's surrounded by all these strong women with powers and abilities. And he actually ends up being enslaved by many of them throughout the story. So this is a super romantic one, super fun. Your grandma will definitely like it. Number 3 is High School DXD. This is a classic series where Issei Hyodo gets killed by a girl on his first date who turns out to be a fallen angel, and he gets revived by Rias Grimoire, who's a devil. By her making him a pawn, he gets abilities, so she's the one responsible for empowering him, and he serves her loyally. And he uses this power to save her at different points throughout the story, and you get the whole hero saves the princess type deal. And every woman fantasizes about being the princess rescued by the hero, so your grandma will definitely like this as a kind of a self-insert where she can envision herself being the princess getting saved by the man that she made powerful. And the good news is if you're a reader, or your grandmother's a reader, the entire series is done, so she can read all the books. And chances are, depending on your grandma's age, that she's a Bible thumper. So she'll love a show that focuses on angels and devils, and all the religious aspects of it. Number 2 is Redo of Healer. This one's a little bit different from the other ones because it's not quite as romantic, but there is a ton of totally consensual sex, which I'm sure your grandmother will find very arousing, even at her age. So the main premise is that Kiaru is in a world where there's heroes, and he's a healing magician, but he gets taken advantage of, and by the time he realizes how powerful his ability actually is, it's too late. So he's able to use a Philosopher's Stone and travel back in time to get revenge and take down a corrupted empire. And he ends up becoming really close companions with Flare, who is one of his abusers. So they have a very romantic and loving relationship that your grandma will definitely appreciate. He also befriends a demi-human, Setsuna, who's part of the Ice Wolf clan. And if your grandma is cool, she'll love animals. So she'll definitely like Setsuna's character too. And he makes more companions along the way, many of them strong females, which your grandma will definitely relate to and enjoy. And I know the fans are really desperate for this to get a season 2. And I think it's so popular it's only a matter of time. This is one that focuses on the action more than the romance, but the romance is a pretty significant part of the story that your grandma will definitely love. And number 1 is Boku no Pico. This is a really short series about a young boy who wears girls' clothing and is actually mistaken for a girl by Tomatsu, or Mokun. And even once Tomatsu finds out that Pico is a boy, he still loves him because their love is just so pure. And this has all the drama of a romance that your grandmother will love. Pico has multiple people that he's in relationships with. Even once he's found out for being a boy, people still love him. And it's just a really good coming-of-age tale with romance and drama all over the place that your grandma will absolutely love. And in the end, Pico has to figure out what to do because he has Tomatsu, Chico, and Coco. So he has so many options that he's forced to choose what romantic path to pursue. Love triangles and quadrangles for the ages. So these are the 5 anime that your grandma will definitely love, and you should totally watch with her. Alright, well, happy April 1st. Hope you're enjoying April Fool's Day. This is it for me for the videos today. They're all way different than what I normally do, so hopefully you enjoyed them. And if you're here, like and subscribe and all that shit. Thanks. See ya.